The Lord is stirring so much in my heart in this season. This season of Passover, we celebrated Seder last night, which is the meal that the Jewish people had before the Lord had Moses lead the Israelites out of Egypt, their exodus out of Egypt, which represented the slavery and the bondage to this world and into the wilderness and into the promised land. We celebrated that in remembrance of what he did and the ordinances that he said in Exodus to remember to do this yearly so that generations wouldn't forget what the Lord had done for his people. To be honest, this is only the second time I've ever celebrated Seder, and the Lord put a huge burden in my heart that it was important this year. It was very important. It was very important. Sometimes we forget what the Lord has done for us. We get involved with everyday life and we get pulled under the currents of situations by our emotions. And a week like this week, where we remember the absolute miracle of salvation, of our deliverance, as the Israelites were led out of Egypt and the harsh taskmasters of that land that oppressed them, that beat them, that put them under harsh laws, that put them under harsh labor, that drove them. The Lord led them out of that into a place flowing, where there's a flow of the Spirit, where there's a flow of God, the streams of the river of the mountain of God, who makes glad those hearts whom that stream flows into. If you are part of that stream, if you are part of that river, if you have been flooded by the water, the living water from the well of God, this well that springs forth that will never run dry, this well of salvation, this joy of salvation. If you are in that river, we have to remember what we were brought out of. It's very important that we remember what we were brought out of. So whenever we enter into hardships and trials and persecutions and difficulties that we are going to have as Christians, we aren't promised a life that doesn't have trials, that doesn't have opposition. Actually, we're promised the opposite, that we will face those things. But we're also promised that when we do face those things, that we can face them with joy, with peace and rest, and knowing who our God is, the mighty one to save, the mighty one to deliver, the God of the impossible. And so this week, as we celebrate the Passover, our exodus from bondage, from sin, from slavery, from the things of this world, into the deliverance of God and what he has already done for us, that he has delivered us from bondage to sin, that he has led us captive, that we are captivated into the beauty and the glory realm of Jesus. And if you haven't experienced this glory realm of Jesus, I pray right now for a flooding of wisdom and revelation and the knowledge of God in your inner man, that your body would be filled with the well of the living waters that will never run dry, that the Spirit of God would just hover over you and speak one word of revelation light that would enlighten your understanding to the knowledge of Jesus, the anointed Messiah, the one who has already come, the one that was slain before the foundation of the world for your sin, that has already taken away your sin. It is now your time to step into that revelation, to step into that enlightenment, to step into that understanding and take it, because it is yours to be completely forgiven, to be completely healed, and to be restored to the heart of the Father who loves you, who knows you, who wants to have an intimate fellowship with you in the inward part of your heart, to cleanse you of all sin, to cleanse you of fear, anxiety, depression, oppression, whatever is holding you back from experiencing his love and his joy and his peace. That is what he's wanting to do. And if he's already done that for you, he's wanting you to remember that feeling, that first love feeling that you felt when you were washed clean, when you felt and experienced the Spirit of the Lord upon you, and you knew that you had been completely forgiven, and hallelujah, you were free to worship Christ. You are free to worship him. He wants to bring you back to that place. He wants to bring you back to that place. Just like he went and he cleansed the 10 lepers. They were all cleansed of their leprosy, and only one returned to say thank you. Let us be that one in this season, this Passover season, where we celebrate the Lord and what he's already done, just with gratitude and thankfulness in your heart. Let us remove all of the leaven this week. Let us remove it, of malice and wickedness, of bitterness, of hurt, of offense. Let us forgive those who have debts in our hearts. Let us forgive those that we hold offenses and hurt and anger. Let's release it to the Lord. Let us feel his complete forgiveness again. Let it flood and wash over our souls. Let him heal every part in our minds and our hearts. Let him heal us. Let him heal all of the woundedness. Let his healing oil, let his healing waters, let the angel of the Lord stir the waters in your heart. Let him strike the stony, hard rock in your heart with his staff, and let the bitter waters be turned into sweet waters. Let us remember. Let us remember. Let us not forget what he has done for us. And let us join in the fourth cup of wine of praise. Let's give him all the praise, all the glory, all the adoration that he deserves, because he alone is worthy. He is the one that has removed this stubborn, rebellious, stony heart and put in us a new heart and a new spirit so that we could worship him in spirit and in truth. Let's use that heart to worship him, to fellowship with him, to adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Let's give him all the glory. Let's give